So much media, so little time. Who keeps track of it all? That would be me. This is Bob Andelman, and this is the Mr. Media Interview, sponsored by 1-800-DialDJs.com and recorded live on blogtalkradio.com from the world's new media capital and hometown of Monica Raymond, star of Lie to Me, St. Petersburg.
Previously on Ugly Betty.
Since when do you make potato latkes?
Since I'm inviting someone to join us tonight. No breakfast?
No, actually, I'm feeling kind of queasy today.
Oh, that's weird, me too.
The big news is that ABC's sexy, fashion-funny rom-com Ugly Betty is moving to Wednesday nights at 10 p.m. And while I understand that surviving a Friday night time slot on network TV is like getting a stay of execution from the governor, in the digital age, I have to wonder if time slots matter at all. Or is my family the only one recording Betty on a DVR and watching it at our convenience instead of the network's? Of course not. Anyway, to celebrate the new time slot, I'm being joined by Betty's older sister, Hilda, played by the red-hot chica Ana Ortiz, and Betty's distinguished and wise Papi, played by Tony Plana. Ana, Tony, welcome to Mr. Media.
Hi, Bob.
Thank you, Bob.
How you guys doing?
So good.
Having
Thank
fun.
you.
Excited about Wednesdays.
Yeah, congratulations on that. Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
That was a great Christmas present, Bob.
Well, is switching nights that big a deal to the cast?
Yes, I think so. I think because they're promoting Wednesday so much, I think that it gives us a chance to bring in more audience to the show because they weren't promoting a lot of Friday stuff.
But I think you're right. I mean, I think there definitely is something to the fact that most people now are DVRing shows and watching them at their convenience. But in terms of just sort of exposure, we just can't beat sort of a whole comedy lineup, which is what they're doing on Wednesday, whereas on Friday it was just this sort of mishmash.
It was a mixed message.
Yeah, so now we're just in a streamlined thing, and I think it's just easier for people to digest.
We really belong there. I think we're a family-based comedy, and I think to finish the night with Betty is a stroke of genius. I think that it's such an entertaining comedy, but also wonderfully thought-provoking type of dramedy, which gives it a nice spin to the evening.
But the show being repeated on the TV Guide Network, that was not enough for you guys?
Too much is never enough.
Never. And I think it speaks to a vote of confidence from the network that they would want to include us on such an important night for them, and that they value us enough. And I think that it's really the consequence of really strong writing and directing and acting this season, and really good shows that came out of the gate. And I think it's paid off. I think they really wanted more people to share Betty.
Well, rather than giving up on the show, obviously the writers, the production, and the cast have gone out, and it's been a very unusual season. People who haven't seen it in a while should really tune in because a lot of things have changed. Relationships have changed. Some characters have matured. Ana, your character, on the other hand, seems to be regressing. I don't know. Maybe you want to tell us what's going on there.
Yeah, she definitely is sort of repeating history. I don't know. We'll have to see what goes on. I think she just can't stay away from the bad boys, and I guess it's something that a lot of women can relate to.
What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? She just goes backwards before she goes forward.
One thing that Hilda is good at is being a mom. So I mean, we'll see how that ends up.
And she's going to need those talents because our grandson's son is going through some big changes this year.
Yeah, he's got a great storyline.
Real big challenges at the high school on many levels, and so it's going to be a really engaging type of season because of all the different twists and turns and crazy shenanigans that are going to go on.
My wife and I were just talking about the show minutes before we went on the air with this interview, and she was saying that the thing that she always liked about the show, that she felt maybe it's gotten away from a little bit, maybe you're coming back to that, is that family core of the four of you. That there's been a lot of emphasis recently on sex and that kind of thing, but the core of the show was always the family.
Well, there's nothing wrong with sex, Bob.
No, please.
And the older you get, the more you appreciate it.
I think you're right, though. I think that there's definitely something to that. And I think this season they got back to the balance more. I think, sort of balancing the two sides of the show. And I actually really like it when the family and mode sort of collide. I love being able to have scenes with other people, like the people at mode. I think that's when it's really fun.
And I think, Bob, if you look at I don't know, people may not be aware of this pattern, but I think all the seasons, they come out of the gate with a lot of emphasis on mode, and then in the second half, they really explore some significant, very powerful stories with the family. And that's usually been the MO, and I think that's what's going to happen this season also. So they kind of they save the best for last. What can I tell you?
Tony, will you be cooking for Passover? That's all I want to know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and I hope my Jewish friend comes and helps me out, keeps me company.
Let me ask you about America for our who plays Betty, of course. We've seen her begin to outgrow her crazy wardrobe, the bangs, the glasses. Things have toned down. She's apparently going to lose the braces. And then my wife tells me she just saw on Entertainment Weekly site that there's talk of a romance between her and Daniel. Anything you can tell us about that?
Oh my gosh, I think. It's funny, the show comes from a novella in Colombia, and when it ended, they had the character of Betty fall and get together with the Daniel Meade character, and the country went completely berserk and bananas and was completely furious about it, and they said she would never do that, Betty would never ever fall in love with this guy. I have a feeling that they won't.
I think it's interesting. I don't know. We can't predict. We don't know. But what I do think is that they've been developing a wonderful friendship.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Bob, what do you think? Do you think that would be cool?
I think it'd be a mistake. I think there's certain shows have to keep certain amount of distance between some characters, and those two seem like you got to draw a little bit of a line there.
Here's an interesting aspect too of the original. The original cast Miss Universe as Ugly Betty.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then they turned her into this, fashion beauty at the end of the journey, which I think betrays the very values that this show tries to emphasize. To promote.
Yeah, the way we have it is Betty is going to evolve, but it's not going to be this sort of Cinderella thing where she's all of a sudden this knockout, drop-dead gorgeous woman. She's going to evolve like a normal, like how one would in life.
And emphasizing, inner beauty and personality and integrity and, all those wonderful things that make people really beautiful as opposed to, anorexia and makeup.
Yeah. Well, I want to throw one more question. I know you guys have to go, but Anna, I have to ask you. My 13-year-old desperately wants to know: do your feet hurt from wearing so many pairs of platform shoes on the show?
Yes.
Listen, my feet hurt from watching her platform shoes.
You're not kidding. Yes, they do. They really do. But I wouldn't be Hilda without them. As soon as I put on those shoes, it's like, oh my God, hello, here I go. So they hurt, but it's worth it.
All right. Well, listen, folks, you can catch Ugly Betty in its new time slot Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on ABC, and you can catch episodes you miss at abc.com. And Anna Ortiz and Tony Plana, thank you so much for joining us on Mr. Media today.
Thank
you, Bob. See you soon.
Happy New Year to you both.
Happy New Year.
Enjoy.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And folks, for more interviews with your favorite TV stars, surf over to our main website, www.mrmedia.com. That's where you can listen to my earlier conversations with the stars of Scrubs, Castle, Make It or Break It, The Secret Life of the American Teenager, and many more. And subscribe to Mr. Media on iTunes, and you'll never miss a show. Just search Mr. Media Interviews from within iTunes and subscribe for free. You can also listen with a piece of string and a tin can in many locations. If you've got an idea for a guest, email me directly at bob@andelman.com. You can also follow me on Facebook or on Twitter, www.twitter.com/Andelman or facebook.com/Andelman. Thanks so much for joining us today. Always appreciate when you give up a little piece of your day and come spend it with us. Thanks for listening, everybody.